My name is Ruth Bendel. I'm the Voter Integrity Chair for the Republican Party. And I did take the trouble to do the public test. Again, only watching behind glass. I've done the public test for the election computers for several years. Never been required to stand behind glass and watch from a distance. I've always been allowed to proofread the printouts, and we still do that in Washington County. Not just believe what other people say is correct. I'm not going to repeat what the other gentleman just said to you, but I will stipulate that I was really concerned when it came to the recounts that took place, which are a new requirement of the randomly selected precinct. Once again, we were behind a barrier where we could not see the ballots being selected for the various races. We couldn't see that. We couldn't see the count the way it was being taken. All we could see was people counting. Couldn't see what was on the sheets. I have been to several recounts over the years, and it has been a standard policy that one person from each side of the issue or candidate sits at the table and observes the process. This is something that is happening after the election. We are entitled to actually see what is on a ballot when it is being counted, when it comes to a recount. Now, they tried to pass this off as an audit and not a recount. It is spelled out as a recount, and we couldn't even find out what the tallies were from the hand recount versus the machine recount. I was there on election day, and I saw how machine number 4 was playing up, let's put it briefly. And I know that it was afterwards even leading for an engineer to come. People who've been for the public test are entitled to know, as witnesses, that a machine is following the same instructions. Again, that was denied. In all, I deplore the lack of transparency. And the final thing I would like to say is, I'm 68 years of age. Every one of us was denied seating wherever we were, so that who is able to come and give daytime hours to the process? It's usually retired people that are not working. To ask them or tell them that the only option they have is to stand for hours on cement floors is punitive and disrespectful, and it isn't done in other counties. I do ask you to remedy the situation, to allow for the transparency for people who are stupid enough to want to do their civic duty and be election observers. And I really take this matter very seriously. The way your machines operate, the Secretary of State put aside money that came from Harvard to clean up the electoral rolls and to have machines that do the job properly. He told the committee in Salem that he would put most of that $34 million into an endowment fund for necessary projects. I cannot think of more necessary project than getting machines that will deal with the optical scan ballots more efficiently. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Janice Dysinger, Vice Chairman of Multnomah County Republicans. After diligently observing the process in Multnomah County, we have three main areas of concern. Observation access. Observation from such a distance that reasonable view of the documents or their processing is not possible. At times we were able to observe only the backs and heads of the workers. No access to part of the signature verification process because this was done throughout the building and some in secure areas where we were not allowed to go. Carts and boxes stacked so as to obstruct observation on over half of the election board tables, forcing volunteers to stand for hours, making it difficult to continue the observation process. Second area of concern is security of the ballots in the counting process. Extra contract workers such as window washers and sewage cleanup workers near secure areas at times when we could not see how the ballots were guarded, automatic garage doors to the basement opening at random times, ballot counting machines continually jamming throughout the process. And in the video, I gave a video clip to Deborah over there, and so you can actually see about 10 minutes worth of the process, and you'll see how that happened. And that was at the beginning of the process, and it continued throughout. The choice of the ballot side did not match the machines, and because they were double-sided, the marks bled through to the other side, making the enhancement process more difficult because you had to keep putting stickers over the bleed-through areas, so it made a question of accuracy on as well. Adjustments made to the counting machines during the count without further testing, and you'll see 2 photographs that I've given to you. Election workers, the VAT team leader taking signature cards, having them printed out so that she could take them with her. I asked her about that, and she said why she needed to do that, and she said that because some of the people that she helped that had disabilities, she wanted to make sure their signature matched it, so she always took extra signature cards with her so that as a routine she had to fill out a new signature card. So I asked her then why does she need a copy of their signature card to take with her? And she really couldn't give me an answer. So I felt it was unnecessary that she was making copies of the signature cards, which are not allowed to be done unless it is important enough to help you do your job. So I didn't agree with her that she needed to take them. Non-HADA compliant register being issued a regular ballot and then having to mark it later as a non-HADA compliant ballot for federal offices so that they wouldn't be counted. Not destroying unused ballots on election day at 8 p.m. as prescribed by the law. And I gave you the title for that as well.
15 minutes is...
If you could just wrap it up in the next 30 seconds or so, we appreciate it.
Okay.
Because we have your testimony.
Okay. I really want to say that I was very upset about the counting process on the recount because the hand count, I went in and I waited for an hour afterwards, and Mr. Scott adamantly denied me the numbers, and they were not announced as we went along in the process as prescribed by the law. I gave you the title number for that. I waited and I sat there and told him I wanted those numbers before I left that day. He would not give them to me. I asked him for a note stating why he wouldn't give them to me. He was adamantly I was not to give any information until the following day when he had proven the numbers, whatever that means. Because the numbers are the numbers. I should have gotten them that day according to Oregon law. And I request that you give me a meeting with Mr. Scott and report back to you, or that we can meet together, that we might have some kind of resolution to this process and we know that something's being done. And if you see my pictures, you'll see that these are rows 1 through 5 here. We saw the first 2 rows. We couldn't see the actual documents, but we could see the voters running. Rows 3, 4, and 5 were completely obstructed. And this picture is taken after they adjusted, taking 2 stacks of boxes off the table.
My lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take